let's take a look at our top selections for the Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at race number 8 at Belmont Park on Saturday, a race that might have some Breeders' Cup implications. Let's take a look at the field for the Grade 2 Kelso Handicap. 5 entered. The one Mo don't know, according to our colleague and DRF correspondent David Granning, isn't going to ship to this race due to a cough. We're only going to have 4, but they're 4 pretty talented horses. If Code of Honor wins here, Mike, I guess it gives Shug plenty of options. You run in the Dirt Mile or you run in the Classic. If Complexity runs well here, it gives Chad Brown options. You run the Dirt Mile, or maybe you turn back to the Sprint.
Yeah, they're both good horses. It'll be interesting to see, what happens, especially, I think, with Code of Honor, Dan. I guess he was a little disappointing in the Whitney last time. But certainly if he bounces back here and runs his good race, not only will it be tough for this Kelso field, but, Shug certainly could give him another crack at the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Usually in a short field, pace makes the race. And as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector for this race, we're not expecting a quick pace. The blue bar indicates that our friends at Timeform US believes that this race will favor horses on or near the early lead. And while Stan the Man, the number 2, has some speed, you have to think of Complexity, who went gate to wire in the Champagne last year as a 2-year-old, is going to make the front.
Yeah, he's going to be on the lead in this race. And then we'll just see what Javier Castellano does with Code of Honor. Code of Honor, obviously isn't going to be on the lead in here, Dan, but it's not like he's, a one-run slow plotter. He doesn't have to be that far away.
We're expecting Mo Don't Know to scratch. So let's start our analysis with the 2, Stan the Man. And John Terranova's put this versatile horse in some very nice spots. A stakes winner at 1 1/8 and a stakes winner at 6 furlongs. Let's watch his race at Saratoga last time out. The tail of the cat, blinkers off. He looks like he's in a little bit of trouble in the stretch, Mike. He's on the far outside. He's got some work to do with 3/16 of a mile to go. He's just better than these horses at 4 to 5.
Yeah, he was just too good for these horses. He comes with a nice run down the outside and picks up a quality win. He had actually run pretty well in the True North prior to that as well, though, Dan. He's a nice horse. I feel like this is a tough spot for him. But you know what? He's going to be the longest shot on the board in here. He's fine over 1 mile, and he does have a couple of fast races on his card.
Let's talk a little bit about the number 3, Endorsed. He has some talent. He was second, just missing behind Code of Honor in the Westchester. And we've talked about it before. This horse got a really nice ride that day. Joel Rosario took the bull by the horns and he moved along the inside to take the lead and really take the race to Code of Honor coming off the layoff. And Code of Honor just kind of beat him on the square. In the Met Mile, the pace didn't shape up for him. Let's look at his last race, the Alidar. They stretched him out to 1 1/8. And I think you like him better at shorter distances than this. He's on the outside at 3 to 5. He just can't reel in the Pletcher Train spinoff.
Yeah, he was a big favorite in this race, and was really no match for Spinoff, but he didn't run poorly at all in this race, Dan. He's just second best in here to a horse who was in good form at the time. I do prefer him going a little bit shorter. It's not like he's impossible in this race. I will say, though, I found it difficult to take him in here, Dan. When you go back and look at the Met Mile and look at the Westchester, you could even go as far back as the Champagne when they were 2-year-olds and the Travers last year. It's hard for me to think that he's going to be able to beat Code of Honor because Code of Honor has proven over and over again that he's a better horse than Endorsed is.
As for Complexity, he wired Code of Honor in the Champagne. Code of Honor, of course, had a disastrous beginning and made a wide mid-race move that day, while Complexity had all the best of it on the front end. It was kind of a shame that Complexity had an abbreviated 3-year-old campaign. He's now at a couple of starts here at 4, including this effort in the Grade 1 4-go, run in a monsoon, and he went right to the front. He battled it out with the 37 to 1 shot, True Timber, who's going to hang in there for 3rd. He has the lead down to mid-stretch. He's just going to get out finished by the 1-run closing. Win, win, win. I thought it was a step in the right direction for Complexity. We know he can get the trip, and he should be able to have an easy time of it on the lead.
Yeah, that's his to me, his big advantage is the pace of this race. Maybe he just shakes loose, Dan, runs one of his big ones and wires this field. If I'm being perfectly honest, I realize that he's a threat. I'm just not a big fan of this horse since his Champagne. Every time they've tested him, he's come up, and it really hasn't even been that close. I don't even want to say he's come up short. It really hasn't even been that close. And I know that there are some excuses you can make for him. I just don't know how good this horse is, and he's going to be a short price in here. He ran fine in the Forego last time, but it's not like it was some kind of spectacular effort dueling with a big long shot True Timber, who, by the way, came back in the Vosburg last weekend. It was absolutely nowhere. I don't know. I just don't know how good this horse is, and he's going to be a short price in here.
Code of Honor the 5, doubtlessly the horse to beat, the winner of last year's Travers. He's banked $2.5 million. He won the Westchester this year over a wet track at Belmont. And in the Met Mile, I know you weren't very happy with the ride. He could have probably been a little bit closer to the pace. He ended up very, very wide in a race that was controlled up front. And this similar situation happened last time out in the Whitney. It was a race with no pace whatsoever. Improbable got the dream setup sitting off the leader. Code of Honor just had too much work to do.
He did, but he also didn't run his best race. I mean, I think that's pretty clear when you watch, it's, the stretch runner. He was just going evenly in there. And a horse, Tom's d'Etat, who had a disastrous start and was way out of it. I mean, he just ran right by Code of Honor in the stretch of that race. I don't know. I was disappointed with his last start, but, other than that, I don't know. I just feel like he's better than these horses. His Met Mile, I thought, was excellent, and he was very unlucky. His Westchester was a super effort. And he beat, in my opinion, he beat Endorsed a lot easier than it looks on paper. I don't know, Dan. I just feel like he's the best horse in this race, the Whitney notwithstanding.
Are you surprised that Shug's running him here instead of waiting for a race like the Jockey Club Gold Cup, that now Shug seems intent on maybe this horse is more of a middle distance runner?
A little bit surprised because, he had won the Travers pretty impressively, and he ran well in the Jockey Club Gold Cup last year. So I don't know. You feel like he could go longer and run in those bigger races, but who am I to argue with Shug McGahee?
One of the great equalizers also for Code of Honor, not only his talent and his class, he loves Belmont Park. He does great work here. Let's take a look at our top selections for the Kelso. You're going with Code of Honor. He's way the horse to beat. I'm hoping Complexity getting 5 pounds and maybe a little bit of a jump on Code of Honor turning into the stretch can fend him off as he did in the Champagne. But we've got the same soupy, different order. 5-4-3-2 for you, 4-5-3-2 for me.
Yeah, I just didn't really want to go against Code of Honor. I just think he's better than these horses, Dan.
Grade 2 Kelso Handicap. Could be a really interesting matchup between the speed of Complexity, the class of Code of Honor, and approximate post time on Saturday is 4:39 Eastern. Good luck.